Hello everyone, Tim here. I just got back from a work trip that I took to Tampa, St. Petersburg area. I had 2 days of work. I had my fly-in day and fly out, very early morning. So all I really had to work with was the 3 nights. The afternoon to night I got there, and then my 2 work days, the afternoons to nights. So I didn't have a lot to work with, but I had some time. So I figured, let's go movie hunting. I'm in a different area. I've been to Florida several times. I've never been to Tampa or St. Petersburg. So I'm going to maximize it. And that I did because I went to some really cool stores, like really good stores. So my plane ended up landing around 3 p.m., got my rental car, and immediately went to Viper Video in Tampa. This is not that far from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium. I actually snapped a couple of pictures of the stadium as I was driving by. And this place is small. I'm not going to try to say this is a big grand store size-wise, but man, it's small but mighty. This place is jam-packed with Blu-ray, 4K, boutique stuff out the wazoo. Prices really good. There's dead formats if you want VHS. There's Laserdisc. It's a great, great store. If you find yourself in the Tampa area and you enjoy like boutique stuff or dead formats and things like that, man, this place is just jam-packed. There's a front room that is filled with, all of the new stuff, and there's out of print and all that stuff. And then there's also a back room that is just filled with cheap Blu-ray and VHS, like $1 each for everything. And then there's a little area for laser discs as well, which were not $1, but still. This place had so much to it. I enjoyed it a ton. I only had a laptop bag with me and a backpack. So I didn't have a lot of room to work with, and that kind of constrained what I could buy. But I really dug this store, and I probably would have grabbed more. But you'll end up seeing the haul stuff towards the end of this. Then the next one up is Big Redhead Toys, I believe is the name of it. And this place was cool. I liked it. I didn't end up getting anything from it because of the retro toys I collect. I didn't really run across much I wanted. But this is a cool store nonetheless, especially if you're a Transformers fan. Whoo, my gosh, there were so many Transformers. I would say that's one of their number one retro vintage toy lines that they carried. Tons of Transformers. But I enjoyed this store quite a bit. Again, the stuff I'm looking for wasn't really there, but they did have this amazing Who Framed Roger Rabbit display for buy the VHS. I would have really liked to come home with that. That was really cool. But again, space. How the heck would I have gotten it home? But still, very happy I stopped in. It's a store I would check out if I was in that area again, and this wasn't really all that far from Viper Video. So if you like retro vintage toys, it's not that far. Next store up is one called Sound Exchange, which is a record store first and foremost. You could kind of go either way on record stores. They can end up being kind of a bust when it comes to movies. They can be great for records, but some record stores don't carry hardly any movies. Some do really well at it. I figured I'll take my chance. They say movies. They were awesome. There was a lot of commons in there, but the prices were freaking great, really good prices. I kept looking at things and it's $2.99, $4.99, $6.99. Really, really good prices. And then as much as, yes, lots of commons, which are okay. Commons are how people could build a great collection of great movies. I just happen to have a lot of those type of movies that I would want. But they had a bunch of Twilight times, specifically had one that I have been looking for so long. I can't believe I found Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation, and for a really, really good freaking price. $39.99. I'm thrilled. There was also a bell booking candle, which I would have grabbed if I didn't already have it. I really, really enjoyed this store. TV selection, huge. It was a great store. I thoroughly enjoyed looking through here, and if I could bring April to this place, I 100% will in the future, because I loved it. I thought it was a great store. And there's multiple sound exchanges. I only got to check out this one, but I'm curious to see the rest. Next up, if you're a fan of retro video games, you probably would have dug Unlimited Video Games. This store is exactly what you would think it would be. It's just chock full of retro video games. The store was very cool, though. It had its own little arcade off to the side. Tons of selection on SNES and PS1 and etc. Lots of stuff. Game stores like that will typically have a pretty good movie selection. This one did not. The movie selection is, well, what you're seeing right now. It's not much. There was nothing I found there movie-wise that interested me. But I still did end up finding a game which, again, you'll see all the haul stuff at the end of this video. But I dug being in there. I thought it was cool. Cool aesthetic on the outside. Fun store to shop around. It's one I would check out again for sure. Being that I didn't have a whole lot of travel bags or anything like that, I still needed to stop at a store like a Walmart, specifically for a couple of things, some snacks for when I am in the hotel later, some things like that. I needed Dramamine because I did not take the flight that well, so I had to stop at Walmart. I figured may as well show you the movies. They are better in some ways than my local ones here, but still nothing to write home about, and still didn't see anything that I wanted to buy. So they weren't a complete train wreck. I've seen worse. I've seen Walmarts that have almost nothing, but these were really nothing that great. Of course, within all of this, I still have to eat food as well. I'm there for multiple nights. Now, 2 of the nights, I happen to have a Panera Bread immediately next door to my hotel. Panera Bread's nothing special, so I'm not going to talk about Panera Bread. But I did eat food at Billy's Stone Crab in St. Petersburg, which this happens to be the filming location for Summer Rental where they filmed for the Barnacle restaurant. That is so freaking awesome. Obviously, the Barnacle was a special set used for that. The restaurant itself was not a ship, but it was filmed on their property and right off of the dock that is connected to their restaurant. And the cast and crew ate and hung out at Billy's, the actual restaurant. So I went in, I ate, I had great food. I got some stone crab for appetizer. I got mahi-mahi for dinner. I ended up spending $70 on just me, but damn it, that food was freaking good. Alright, so now we're at the point where I'm towards the end of my trip, but on the last day after we got out of work, I went to a place called Banana Records, which I've seen some videos on. I knew they had movies. I was impressed overall with this store. I thought Banana Records was really freaking cool. If you're into music and records, great record store, great selection. I'm walking throughout this store and I'm seeing lots of great records. They actually had a new metal section, which I thought was awesome. And there's an entire room dedicated to movies. There's DVD, Blu-ray. I didn't really see much in the way of 4K, but still, very big selection. Prices, depending on what it was, seemed pretty solid. I didn't find anything in the movie room that I specifically wanted or needed, but I still had fun browsing, and I thought it was really cool. People that are looking to go movie hunting would totally have fun going in Banana Records and spending an hour just looking through everything. You would really enjoy it. But anyways, throughout the movie room, up at the top area, they have laser discs all going along the top. And I'm thinking, where are the laser discs at? So I asked the person, and she leads me to a back room that I didn't know existed that's freaking huge. It includes even more movies and records and everything. There's a whole bunch of $1 laser discs. I had fun browsing through those. That is very hard to ship home or take home with me, so I couldn't get much there, but I did get some. And then they even had flat files that were full of magazines and one-sheet posters, and I had no way to get those home. That was so disappointing. But I really dug Banana Records, guys. That is a very cool store, and I 100% would recommend checking that place out. Alright, so after Banana Records, I'm in an area that is just surrounded by water. I've gotta go to the beach. My entire mind was, let's film everything on the beach. How'd be cool to film a haul on the beach? Well, I lost the little windscreen thing for my mic, and I got to test it out when I got here. The audio didn't come out great. So you're gonna see video Tim talking while I am talking because the haul did not work out as I wanted. But the beach was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I really enjoyed being there, especially because this beach is also where some of Summer Rental was filmed. The volleyball scene, him walking across the beach and dripping water all over people, that's on this beach. And I thought that was awesome because I love Summer Rental. But after walking in the water a little bit with my pants on, because this was all not planned, I enjoyed it. Now let's get to, overshowing with me with the haul. First up, we're gonna go with Viper Video. Viper Video, I ended up coming away with The Prospect, which is a Pedro Pascal movie before he became as big as he is now. We got Jason X, which that's awesome, the Jason X 4K, and now I'm seeing everybody posting it on Instagram. And Jason Goes to Hell, I also grabbed. So I grabbed all three of those from Viper Video. And oh yeah, I also grabbed the Phantom VHS from Viper Video. You can't forget that. The Phantom is awesome. So next up will be Sound Exchange, and I thought I killed it at Sound Exchange, honestly. So first up, I've got Midway. I got the Blu-ray from Midway. Shocked I didn't have this in the collection. I only had the remake, so that's pretty cool to get. I've got 7 Psychopaths on Blu-ray, which I've wanted to pick that one up for quite a while. I was happy with the price. Freaking Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation for $39.99. Hell of a price, a movie that doesn't exist outside of the Twilight time, so it's very out of print. Great Jimmy Stewart. Super, super pumped on that. One of my favorite pickups in a while. I've got a Late Quartet, which I don't know jack diddly about, but it was $2.99 and had Christopher Walken and Philip Seymour Hoffman, so I took a chance. I got this awesome looking Warrior Steelbook with the original art. Great looking Steelbook, super happy with that. And then we got some TV show stuff here. We got Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner for $6.99. Freaking great price. A Hawaii Five-0 that April needed for the collection, $2.99. And the Mayor of Easttown was $4.99. Sound Exchange is definitely a place I will be returning to. So because I don't want to take them from the car to the beach, back to the car, because they're freaking huge, I also did grab 2 Laserdiscs at Banana Records. I grabbed The Player, and I grabbed Ordinary People. And they were freaking $1 each. Absolutely killer. Great movies, too. So when I brought everything to the beach, I also happened to forget that I did buy a video game at the Unlimited Video Games. It slid under the seat, but hey, look, here's Suffering, Ties That Bind, because I did also buy that, and if you like video games, you like horror, man, the Suffering games are a blast. Definitely recommend them. Alright guys, so that's it. That is my Tampa/St. Petersburg trip. I thought I did pretty dang well, especially I can't believe I got all of these movies home in my backpack and laptop bag because they weren't big. I shoved them in every corner possible. It felt like I was smuggling or something, but I had a blast. The work part was it was very productive, and I felt like I learned a lot more stuff, and I'm excited to see where that stuff goes. And then the fun side, I had fun. I went to the beach. I bought movies. I got to see some filming locations for Summer Rental. I had a good time. So thank you so much for joining along. if you've made it this far and you're not subbed to the channel and you enjoyed this, I wouldn't mind if you would click sub if you were into this type of content, because I do out and about shoppings and all that. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it'd be cool if some of you find new locations out of this that you didn't think to go to or something like that. I hope I help someone out, because these are cool locations, seriously. I had a really fun time. So anyways, I'll see y'all in the next video.